Hello all, welcome back to One Pitch Catch. We're coming to you a day after the T20 World Cup for women ended with Australia winning yet again. I think you could have probably said this at the start of the tournament. It may have still had a pretty reasonable chance of being accurate. But Ganesh, you've done some digging up in terms of how dominant Australia have been. What have you found?
The first thing I found was England women have never beaten Australia in a World Cup final, be it T20 or 50
Oh,
overs.
okay.
Um,
Actually, very
um,
few teams have beaten Australia in a World Cup final, I think.
exactly.
I mean,
I mean,
out of
out of the
the 10.
they won seven out of the 10. So, and I think the three there was one. I don't know which they were in the finals or they got lost before.
Possible also, possibly, yeah.
So, and the closest game that they had in this T20 World Cup was against India when they lost
Which
four
is fairly
wickets,
comprehensible.
which was which was kind of thrashing, I would say. When Australia won by only by 6 wickets with only
Uh,
1 over to spare,
yeah, yeah.
because
In a
all other
T20 game,
teams,
winning by 1 over is not a close result.
all that everything else was winning by 65 runs,
8
98
wickets,
runs,
9 wickets.
113 runs. And if they are chasing, they are winning by 9 wickets,
Um,
8 wickets, 7 wickets, 10 overs to
Yesterday was
spare.
almost 3 overs.
Yeah, and that's a final. Don't forget, it's a
Yeah,
final.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, in semi-final they won by 8 wickets. Final they won by 7 wickets. So since it's supposed to be a slightly competitive game, so they lost one extra wicket.
See, at this, I think they lost one at the end only, almost
Yes,
towards the end. So
yeah.
until then, they were going on for like almost winning by 8 or 9 wickets or something like that. They were well
And
headed that way.
throughout the 40 overs, or probably we should say 37.1 overs that happened, Australia was the dominant team by
Yeah,
a
yeah,
distance. At no
definitely.
stage
Yeah.
did it's all credit to England. England women have played extremely well throughout the series, but I think Australia women should be banned from women's cricket, Chika. If for a team that plays so well like the England women, they can't stand up in the final.
Yeah.
Australian women cannot be allowed to play women's cricket. They are
No,
so
and they also beat South Africa in the semi-final now, and they
no,
beat
no,
England
West
in the final.
Indies.
Oh, West
Who?
Indies beat, yeah.
South Australia beat West Indies in the semi-final by 8 wickets.
Correct, correct, yeah.
And
And West
they
Indies
beat
is not
South
a pushover
Africa.
also.
They beat South Africa in the first game of the
Correct, correct, yeah,
by 65 runs.
yeah, yeah.
South
And
Africa is a
India.
very good team. They beat by 65 runs.
I think basically what they should do is when they announce the tournament, they should say, okay, prize goes to Australia,
Australia.
trophy is there. You all play for runner-up. அவ்வளவுதான். Where
That,
I think
that,
that's the way most tournaments have been.
yeah, that's the way they have been now. Every time they won, this is their seventh T20 World Cup, and every time they won in threes, three
Oh,
times in a
okay.
row. Once again, second time also 3 times in a row, and they let West Indies win once, New Zealand win
Nadula,
once,
okay.
England win. So now that they've started the third set of three, I think.
Another two. Another two you can write off basically.
And also, it's not individual brilliance or dominance, Jaga. When you dig
Yeah,
through the stats, it's a teamwork at an extremely excellent different level is what I felt. Because before the final started, the top three run getters or the top three wicket takers, none of them were Aussies. Okay,
oh, okay.
it was so that's the dominance of the team. They're not. It's completely teamwork. Now after the final, of course, Beth Mooney has come to the
Yeah, yeah.
second overall highest run getter in the series, and the captain Molino has also ended up second or third in the wickets. The same number of wickets, but with
But still
average
leading
ends
up
up.
to it.
So, but you don't see the top 4 or 5 names. You don't see an Aussie in the top in the stats column. So that's how
That's,
dominant they have been with somebody standing up all the time.
yeah.
So it's brilliant. Uh,
And I think that's pretty much what good teams are made of, right? You don't depend upon only on these two or three people either to get you the wickets or the runs. You need everybody showing up in pretty much every game.
exactly.
Uh, yeah, so I guess we'll now have to just wait until the next ICC tournament to see how much better this team can get. And this is, by the way, they're doing this without some really senior stalwarts that had retired recently. So it's not
Yes.
like it's not the Australia side from even a year ago.
Yes.
Uh,
Alyssa
Alisa
Healy
Healy
is not.
retired. Yeah, and there was probably one or two others also, if I remember right.
I mean, this is supposed to be I mean, except there are some experienced names there, Ellis Perry,
Yeah, yeah,
Gardner, and all are there, but still, it's supposed to be a new look Australian women's team.
yeah, yeah,
But I mean,
definitely.
nothing changes. It's just the names that change. But in terms of the
Uh,
opposition, nothing changes, I think. I mean,
yeah, speaking of
like I
changes,
started saying, Jaga, they should really not be allowed to play women's cricket. Or, like you said, all other teams should contest for the runners up, and the
yeah,
winners' trophy should be given to these women.
yeah,
Excellent, excellent cricket. Excellent.
yeah,
The way they dominate, the bowling, fielding. I mean,
yeah.
excellent cricket.
Fielding,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
nice to watch them play. It is at a different level altogether,
Yeah, I
definitely.
think that's what they're doing, right? They're just taking that sport to that next level. All other teams basically have to catch up. It's kind of similar to how the West Indies of the 80s and until the mid 90s used to be, whether it was Test cricket, or even ODI cricket. Yeah, you can argue that look, they only won in 75 and 79. They've not won since then, but they were the team that everybody was aspiring to in terms of quality of, batting, bowling, fielding, fitness, everything. So I think this Australian side is basically setting those kind of benchmarks. And could probably say the Aussie side of the 2000s also was probably in that same benchmark, basically.
Will you call Bass also trying to do that with the English team?
You can do that, but you need to have the quality of people around it.
And
And you
who
also need to have some level of self-discipline, which I'm sure the England players don't seem to have. So
Hmm. I mean, they are also
anyway, so
trying to take the game to the next level where everyone else can catch up, even in Test cricket. That was his aim, right?
hey, see, results matter. That's the thing, right? So ultimately, you're judged by results. You can talk about effort. You can talk about we want to bring the crowds back and things like that. The crowds will come for first 1 or 2 years until the entertainment is there. After the entertainment stops and the results also stop, even if you bring in the entertainment, the crowds are not going to come back. They're not going to come in and say, "Wow, this team scored 120 all out in 16 overs or something like that." They're not going to care about it. So yeah, you can do all you want, but ultimately the results have to come in. So speaking of, yeah,
Results have to matter. Speaking of results have to matter, somebody
yeah,
else's names come to my mind.
absolutely. And also the other thing is, we keep talking about transition, transition, transition. That's what we've been hearing from the Indian team management for the last 2 years or something like that. So this is another series in which I don't know, maybe that same word will get used again. Vaibhav Suryanshi made his international debut at just over 15 years and maybe 100 days or something like that. Kind of eventful first innings. May not have been at the same whirlwind speed that we've got used to, but he did try and make an impact, but it was not too useful from a team perspective. Okay, pretty much continuing from where they left off in Ireland. I mean, yeah, it's kind of early days. It's a five match series, only two matches over, one of which was washed out. Maybe they were probably unlucky the first one was washed out because I thought they were kind of setting themselves up from a batting perspective pretty decently then. But yeah, and what did you think about Vaibhav's debut?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't read so much into his, if you call it failure, 14 of 10 balls, I wouldn't say, I
Yeah,
mean, it's too young, it's first game and all those things. I mean, again, Jofra got added to the first ball six from Suryavanshi,
yeah,
like a lot of others. Bumrah was there. I think
yeah.
Cummins was there. I think Cummins and
ஜோஃப்ரா
Bumrah.
நான் நெட்ஸ்ல அடிச்சிருப்பான் அவன். அது
Jofra.
நமக்கு தெரியாது அது.
Yes, yeah. Um, but I mean, the one difference I felt was, I mean, I felt that he felt the international pressure more than the IPL
Yeah,
because the way he came down the track to Will Jacks and got
ஆமா.
stumped, it was unlike the Vaibhav Suryavanshi we saw in IPLs.
Yeah,
Jagat.
yeah. No, and I think the restrictions that he would have had because of the better quality of bowling, the different conditions, the pitches, the side dimensions of the field, I think all of those did play a part. It's a learning process for him.
No, definitely.
I'm pretty sure he will get better.
No, I'm not
They'll have
worried
to
about
figure it out.
Vaibhav Suryavanshi, but Shreyas still seems to be in the Punjab Kings mold. There have been four games now. I mean, though one has been washed out, he's not.
Yeah, yeah,
India has not won under him still.
correct.
When I
Still
go back
winless.
and look, I mean, still it's very early days to pass a judgment on his captaincy. But I think. The
Yeah, I think
Indian
the question
fans.
marks will start. Question marks could start soon, but you never know, right? So I think there's also a challenge with not having any other option. Maybe Sanju would have been the other choice, but he himself is finding himself out of the team every now and then because of his own failings or the need to bring Vaibhav in and things like that. So I think Shreyas will still be around, at least for the next couple of years, and we'll see. I guess the next there's the Olympics coming up. Maybe that's the target in terms of what he's going to do or till when he's going to captain or even beyond. So let's see. I mean, the matches it's a 5 match series. 2 matches are over. Still three to go. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, the team can adjust itself quickly to the conditions. I think that's the big challenge, right? Going from playing in the IPL on the
Hmm.
flat pitches, which didn't deteriorate by too much also, and in the much smaller fields to going to fields with slightly different. Because if you saw the Trent Bridge, was it Trent Bridge or I don't know where they were playing. It was literally like
Yeah.
a hexagon
Mexican, yeah,
type.
that's where it is like that. But
Yeah.
a lot of very fundamental things. This we have seen this Gambhir's team do a lot of things wrong over the years. The last 1.5 years or 2 years, maybe. Zeka. I mean, like the back foot no ball for Ravi Bishnoi. Uh,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's a very basic thing. I don't understand what Gambhir and the spin bowling coach or the bowling coach, whoever it is, these are very basic.
Or the player.
A player
Because
himself, of
I'm
course.
pretty sure I've seen Ravi Vishnu get into this kind of trouble in the IPL also. I remember seeing him being no ball for this.
No, I mean, if he was snowballing for this, then when the moment he walked into the squad, I mean, Gambhir and
Yeah,
the bowling team, I mean, we've seen, I mean, different new. This team under Gambhir keeps making new mistakes, Jaga.
yeah,
Every time they want to cover all the mistakes possible. I think so. This is just not on. I think Bishnoi bowling those back foot no balls is not
yeah.
is just not acceptable at this level of cricket.
Right,
Definitely.
definitely. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see if they are able to reduce the mistakes and thereby remove the need for an excuse also that this is still a team in transition. We should probably ask, like, at what stage do you say the team is no longer in transition? Appa peslam.
Until then, you give them the benefit of
Yeah,
transition.
yeah. Yeah, you can say, till 2033 or something like that. Okay, pa, சரி மூடிட்டு இருக்கோம். Right. Okay, cool. That's about it. We'll come
Will
back
come
again
back
in the
after
next few days.
couple of T20s that India
Yeah.
play. I mean, they might, I mean, for all you know, they might win the three and the next three and win the series. They're not. It's not a team that is not capable of doing it, but the mistakes seem to be little parts.
Yeah, and it's not like this England team is, comparable with, say, the Australian women's team that we spoke about. The men's team is not at that level, right? So it's not like this is a very difficult tour or something like that. Yeah, sure, it's not going to be as easy as probably the wickets that you've played in during the IPL, but that's what international cricket is about. You prepare for it, right? And maybe that's what's lacking here.
Yeah, that's what. But Shreyas Iyer has already told about the Ireland loss, saying that they were not prepared for those kind of dimensions of the
Yeah,
ground,
yeah,
the conditions, and all those things. But that is what you are there for. You cannot
yeah,
expect an IPL setup there when you go to
yeah,
Belfast.
exactly. அப்ப அடுத்தது இம்பாக்ட் பிளேயர் ரூல் இல்ல அதனால தான் தோத்தோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க.
வைடுக்கு வந்து இது பண்ண
ஆ
முடியல, டிஆர்எஸ்
ஆமா
பண்ண
எக்ஸ்ட்ரா
முடியல.
பால்.
வைடுக்கு
வைடுக்கு வந்து
டிஆர்எஸ்
வாட் இஸ் தட் ஃப்ரீ ஹிட் இல்ல ஆர்
டிஆர்எஸ்
ரிவ்யூஸ் இல்ல.
டிஆர்எஸ்
யா யா
டிஆர்எஸ் பண்ண முடியாது.
ஆமா ஆமா யா யா. Anyway,
Okay,
so yeah, we'll
that's
come
it.
back again in a few days. Until then, thank you. Please keep watching. Bye. Leave your comments.